Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome A.J. Finney.
Hello. Such an anticlimactic way to start a special, I guess. Tells you everything I do, and then I come up and go, hey, what's up? I hope we have fun, but I mean, I saw a psychic today. I know how this is going to go. And I'll be honest, I wish it was going to be better. All right. I have a beard. She's not here tonight, but yeah, I know where I'm at. I'm challenging all your beliefs tonight. So, all right, yeah, never mind. If you didn't get the joke, it's because it's not for you. If you got the joke, I need you to I'm not for you. So, all right, good start. You guys are on fire. I thought that lady reading my palm was wrong, but man, it's a fucking heater, isn't it? You guys drinking? It's a Thursday. Let's get drunk, drive home, see if we can win the game of life. That'll be a hoot, won't it? Remember that game when you were a kid, Life? You just spin the wheel of destiny and hope for the best. Just, oh man, knocked up a stripper, she's having twins. I'm going bankrupt. Mulligan! You wish you could yell mulligan every time something bad happened in your life and you just kind of took care of it? Yeah? No? I feel like some of you were on board and some of you are still trying to figure out which Mario brother grew a beard. One of the daydreams of eating mushrooms, riding turtles through a castle, but that ain't going to help anybody, is it? If you don't believe me about the mulligan thing, keep drinking. Right, go about 10 times harder than you normally would, then drive home sideways. When you get pulled over, I bet you change your mind. It's about the time you go, I bet right now it'd be a real good time down where those mulligans all Luigi was talking about. That would be nice. You know why I pulled you over? I know why I'm not going to jail. Bam! Mulligan. Like, you don't have to burn out, but it does warm my heart to think you would. So, I'm Irish and Native American, or what people in AA refer to as a natural. I can be a lot of fun or a lot of trouble, depending on who you ask. I've done a lot of things I'm not proud of. Blackouts, DUIs, blaming a girlfriend's cat for peeing on me when I probably did it myself. Ex-girlfriend in that one. She took off. Right? Left because she didn't dig my eccentric behavior. Furthermore, claims she didn't have a cat. That seemed to be a bigger issue. Really get that? You know what type of person does that? I'll never forget it. It was a spring break, 2000, South Padre Island. We're on a 4-day blackout bender. She comes in aggressively waking me up at like 3 in the afternoon. Right? Hey. And I was like, what the fuck's going on here? She's like, I think you peed the bed. And I was like, I think the cat did it. She's like, we don't have a cat. And I was like, oh. I guess it's an X-file then, huh? How'd you get in here? Room service? I don't know if you've ever, depending on, I always think it's interesting when people tell me that they drink. Like, you could be a drinker, but then people that drink, and I'm like, do you consider yourself a party? And they're like, oh yeah. And I'm like, you ever black out? And they're like, no. And I'm like, then you're a liar. Like, if you think you've partied and you've never woken up in an elevator, like, ooh. You should hold the throttle down just once. There's something to be said about, like, getting hammered and going, I need to get back to my room. And then you get into the elevator and you go, I don't know where I'm going. So then you just light the numbers up and go, this will buy me time. Yeah, blacked out a few times. It's wild. If you've never blacked out, it is fascinating. It's a wild thing for a person to do because you're having fun, and then there's a moment in the evening where it's like your body and brain will split into two completely different things. It's like your body gets a part in a movie, but your brain's already read the script, right? So there's that part where you're like, oh, this is going to be great. But your brain's like, yeah, I know how this ends. I'm not watching this. Every blackout can be one of two things. Like, they're either accidental or intentional. Like, that's a weird thing, but it is. Either, no matter what happens, they can be categorized that way. And An intentional blackout usually happens around overly arrogant yet still successful family members, usually around a holiday, right? They're just telling you about all the things they've accomplished. Meanwhile, you're grabbing everything you can and just knocking it back as quickly as possible until one of them goes, I think you have a drinking problem. And you're like, I do. Tonight it's you. And if you don't want to admit it, you just go, actually, I'm a magician's apprentice and I'm working on a trick that makes you disappear. Now, the accidental blackout, that's usually more fun for everybody. Right? That usually happens around like a corporate event. Right? When we make the mistake of thinking everyone gets down like we do. You're going, you're the life of the party. You're really getting it turned up, you know? Next day, you know you had a good time. You roll in, guns a-blazing, like, hey! Like, what are you doing here? I work here. No. Last night you told Steve from corporate to go fuck himself, and then you peed on the copy machine. You're like, well, I have cats. And yeah, we know about your cats. But you hit the skids. All right. It's nice to be here. I think I look distinguished. I think I have a distinguished look, like in my opinion. Like I think if you saw me do something wrong and then you saw me in a lineup, if I was the first one out, you go, stop, we got him. That tumbleweed right there. Right? But I don't know that I call it unique. Like that was a weird thing. Like that's a unique look is something that was said to me about me, and I still don't know how to process it. Right? One of the drunkest human beings I've ever seen in my life came at me on a skateboard, an adult. Just put that in your head real quick. I had walked out of a burrito shop, and literally one of the drunkest people I've ever seen is coming at me on a skateboard. And I know he's drunk. One, I know drunk people. Right? Two, his hips are out. I'm impressed that he's not falling. Like there's no wobble. His head's down. He's blacked out. He's passed out. It's amazing. Amazing that he's not fallen. Right? Also, you could almost feel the aura. Hair's blowing. He's like, I'm glad this Uber rolled the window down because I'm going to throw up. Right? And if that wasn't enough for me to go, this dude is drunk, he had 4 friends at the top of the hill yelling, you don't live down there, James. But he's going, wherever these wheels take me tonight, that's where I'm going. Now, as James gets closer to me, he hits a divot. And as he hits the divot, he's jarred out of his blackout momentarily. And as he pops up, he sees my beautiful face and just goes, whoa, shit, unique look, and then back down and out of my life forever. And I don't know if it was complimentary or if I just got rode by roasted. Like, I don't know, because it's not like he looked at, there's no positive or negative with unique. It's not like he looked up and was like, yo, dude, you're looking good. And I was like, I'm feeling pretty good. Or he's like, oh, you're not looking so good. I'm like, oh, I dropped my burrito. That's unfortunate. All he did was pop up and go, whoa, no one else is doing that. You're so brave out here with your face. You know, and I'm going to be honest, I'm going to take this hat off. It changes things. So, all right. Some of you were polite. Some of you were not. Some of you are still trying to figure out what's going on. All of it is correct. I know it's more head than any of us expected. I am aware of what I've done. I've changed the energy from Johnny Depp to Johnny Don't. But you handled it well. Like, literally a month and a half ago at another club, I took my hat off and a guy to my right did this. Ha! And I was like, that's unnecessary. That didn't make me feel good. Right? I know it can be jarring, but I didn't peel my head back like a Monty Python cartoon. Look what's in there. I don't know if you've ever had something about your face, right, that demands the attention of strangers, but this is fun all day, every day. You know, literally twice in a major metropolitan area, I've removed my hat and seen someone trip over their own feet as they got sucked into the vortex of this thing. And the only thing I've ever thought to say is, gotcha, I'm a wizard. I don't even know what that means. But it seems to pacify them. I was in Oklahoma City doing shows. I'm not bragging. That happened. And after the show, a gentleman came up to talk to me. He was pretty loaded. And I know that because the first words out of his mouth was this, "Hey," and I was like, "Oh." I was like, "You could have done that anywhere else before you brought that to me." It felt like a cat that brought you a dead animal, and you're like, "I don't want that." You could have left money and just been like, or a sorry note. Because I don't know what to do now. I'm like, you want me to guess what you ate? Was it cat shit? Because I'm going to guess cat shit. And I don't know if you've ever had someone that really wants to talk to you, but they're just a little too drunk to remember what they wanted to talk to you about. And then they kind of go, ugh, and then you go, oh, now we have to stay here much longer. I'm excited about all of this right now, right? And he came up very excited. He just went, "Hey, and I was like, oh yeah, let's get that everywhere. If we could do that, please. He just forgot. He just goes, "Hey, no, I got it. And when a full-grown man teapot handles you, not good." He's like, oh yeah, did you cut that like that? What? You think I asked for this? I didn't know what to say. I just went, yeah. I think they went a little short on the bangs myself. What is the matter with you? Did I cut this like this? As a matter of fact, I'm going to open another business. You get a poor haircut, you call me. I'll stand in front of that establishment and go, I don't know if I'd go in there if I were you. I'm 2 days past 17. That's an hour old. Your call. What do you think I did? You think I walked into a business and did what? It's like, hey, you got someone's son wants to give it a shot. You got an Edward whatever hands back there in the basement? How about a blind kid with a wish? I'm just trying. Hey, I'd like to look distinguished. What do you have in a George Washington? It's not the weirdest thing that's ever been said to me. It's not the weirdest thing that's been said to me in Oklahoma. The following week, I was in Tulsa, and I was at a bar during the day, right? And we don't judge. We all have problems. But I'm just sitting there, right? I'm minding my own business. And a gentleman saddles up right to my right, and I wish more than anything I had a picture of this person to prove that he is real, right? Because this happened to me, I believe. And I still question it. Right? Minding my own business. This guy looked like an old-timey prospector or a gold panner. You have that image in your head? He had a long white beard. He had long white hair. He had a hat on and a flannel. Fuck, might have been me in the future. I don't know. Might have been a wrinkle in time, and I was just happening. Right? And I don't know if he had overalls on. But in my memory, he does. I'm honest about that. But what did happen, he saddled up to me to the right and did this. "Hey, man." And I went, "Nope. No, I don't think that's going to happen today." "Hey, man." "Who? What?" "Hey, you can't do that to anybody, right? That's not fair to anybody, but also not fair to someone who's done enough psychedelics in his life to make you up. I know you're not real, right? There's no way, and there's no benefit of me sitting here talking to a nothing and waiting for the bartender to show up and go, who you talking to?" And then I got to go, oh shit, it's happening, right? And look, I've been on complicated acid trips before where a mirage starts bothering me. I know how to deal with this, right? If you've done psychedelics, you know how to deal with this situation. You look forward until this is no longer a thing. And then you walk this way and go, whew, that was close. Right? That's how you deal with that. Right? So I'm looking forward, and this guy, "Hey, man." Also, you can't just wake up one day, look in the mirror, and go, "Well, I mean, I look like a cartoon. Maybe I don't want to go around talking like one." No, you don't do that. So I sat there, and this boy, look, hey man, and I was like, do not engage, AJ. Vanishing point, do not. Hey man, I'm like, he's still doing it. Hey man, hey you, hey buddy, in the flannel, like mine. Hey, to my left. And now my heart rate is going very fast. I'm not moving, I'm sweating, I'm fucking panicked. Like, I'm like, this guy's about to attack me. Like, I don't know what to do at this point, right? And if I was like, if I was like a man, I would probably like turn and go, hey, what the fuck, why are you a thing? I don't have that in me. There's too much anxiety. So what I thought I could do was lock at the hip, and then I was gonna go, yeah, okay. That was phase one. After I acknowledged it was real, I would move to phase two, which was, I don't know what phase two was. Phase one was just acknowledge that it was happening. The problem was I had way too much anxiety running through my body, so I was like, okay, here we go. We're gonna count down from 3, and then we're gonna take a sneak peek, right? 3, 2, 1, ha! And I turned just right into where I didn't wanna be, and he was waiting. And I just went, ha! And he goes, hey! And I went, fuck! Like, that's not how you say hello to a stranger. But he's used to it. He just went, hey, and I was like, ha, 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 ha. And then I swear to you, he goes, can I say something to you without offending you? And I thought, no! I don't even know if this is happening right now. Right? But I was braver than that. Also openly admit this. I will take on the mannerisms of a group of people if I feel outed and afraid. I will do that. I will just chameleon myself into safety. I don't know if you've ever done that. I was sitting there just like, be one of them. I don't, at this point, they won't harm their own, AJ. So I'm freaking out, and he goes, can I say something to you without offending you? And I just went, okay, well, sure. Like, no idea how else to respond. And look, I'm not a creepy guy. Well, okay, hold on. Like, I say that because, well, that's how creepy people introduce themselves. Like, we've all been there. Every lady in here's heard it. The voice gets deep, and they usually go, hey. And you go, Hey, I'm not creepy or anything, but does this look infected? You go, geez, come on. Can you just drive the bus, please? But I say that because this dude literally, he goes, can I say something to you without offending you? And I went, sure. And I swear to you, he goes, well, buddy, that hairline you got is creepy. And I was like, holy shit. Was it offensive? Yes, 100%. Was I offended? No. I'm still not sure if I've had a stroke. What did bother me to this day is, did you draw my hairline with your body? That I don't understand. I don't know how to describe it, but it looked like this. That's the end of that story. So I'm an anxious person. That's something I deal with quite a bit. I have anxiety. I don't medicate the disorder because I appreciate a challenge. And I think it builds character in a person. I've also come to realize my manic episodes seem to bother my friends way more than it'll ever bother me. And I genuinely wish that didn't bring me joy. But anytime I've ever been out and heard one of my friends go, God damn it, that's the moment in time I know I'm no longer my own responsibility, and that is extremely freeing. Like, as soon as they're like, God damn it, something lights up in here like I'm Iron Man. As soon as they do, you're being a handful, I'm like, you can't leave me because you know I'll end up in a ditch. God, I have one buddy, I didn't know I was going to tell this story, but I guess I'm going to. I had a buddy in Kansas City when I was started doing stand-up that I was not allowed to drink with, like, without other people around. Like, that's, and I was like, I don't get what the problem is. And they're like, neither of you are responsible enough without someone else being around. I was like, yeah, we're adults. I think this will happen. So I'm going to call this guy Mike. And one night we went out, we did mics, and then afterwards, I was like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm going to go over to this club. Do you want to go? And I was like, yeah. Can you drive? And he goes, yeah, sure. And I was like, cool. So we get to the club. He goes to one side. I go to one side doing my thing. And I'm like, I got a DD. I'm getting hammered. After that, he goes, you want to go to this after hours joint? I was like, hell yeah. So we went there, closed that down. It's about 4 a.m., and I am wrecked. And we're driving home, and I start to fade out when all of a sudden my head slams up against the side window. And I was like, what the fuck? And I look over. We're jetting across 3 lanes on 435. And I was like, whoa. I was like, hey, you good? And he goes, oh, yeah, I'm good. And I was like, are you drunk? And he goes, oh, yeah. And I was like, dude, I thought you said you could drive. And he goes, oh, I'm driving. I never said I wasn't going to drink. And I was like, now I get it. So, yeah, my anxiety, it's weird. I got one of my friends who was like, you get so wound up, you should take pills. And I was like, I think that's because you tell pills. Right? I don't know what your financial gain has to do with my mental health. And he goes, well, if you don't want to take pills, maybe smoke pot. I say, oh, yeah, with a head full of anxiety. What could go wrong there, you back alley pharmacist? He goes, oh, but smoking pot's fun. I'm like, for all the people? You've done all the research, because I'll be the first one to tell you there's nothing more fun than sitting around smoking pot with all your friends and then realizing, oh shit, my friends aren't here. This stuff's laced. I'm going to die now. That's what's going to happen to me. Right? Why is my heart moving so fast? What did I smoke? A tire? Son of a bitch, I am itchy for no reason. Is that part of it? I had a cat. That's not, I need to be in a controlled environment. I know that right now. Seriously, my mouth is dry right now. God damn it, this carpet needs to be mowed. God, I'm going to die. I better call my mom if I'm going to die. I better clear my browser history if I'm going to be talking to my mom. How long have I been like this? Maybe I'll just lay in the bathtub and sleep this off. Better check the closet. The mailman might be in there spying on me. Who wouldn't want to do that every weekend, huh? Oh, God. So you guys have been a lot of fun. I'm gonna end this with a genuine story, I think. So I come from a pretty wild family. I was born in 1978, which is about 2 decades before men had feelings. And if you don't understand that, my father expressed love through Wild Turkey 101 and quality yard work. Right? If my father ever looked you in the eye and was like, that's a damn fine lawn, you knew he loved you. And I'm not going to sit up here and tell you that he never said that, but it was pretty cryptic. Right? I have 2 memories of waking up late for school and hearing my father in the hallway drunk on Wild Turkey literally going, I wish that was a joke. It's not. It's trauma. I've taken that to 4 therapists who have all told me this. Yeah, it's just something that lives in there. So, I have, by a show of hands, how many people in here have siblings? Oh, great. This is good. This story gets weird when you don't. By those people, now how many people are the oldest? Yeah, so you heard the woo. If you saw the hands of the oldest child, it goes up very fast. It's very matter of fact. It's as if you know, I'm supposed to be here. Very important. Numero uno. Right here. Now, who was the youngest? Okay, yeah. Did you see that? It goes up, but there's a stutter. There's a little bit of is the older one around? Younger siblings are flinchy, so the older siblings can learn empathy later on in life. Now, I would ask about the middle child, but I don't want to push you out of your comfort zone of being ignored. So, my younger brother, Philip, is one of my most favorite people in the world to this day. He's 7 years younger than me. And there's a weird hierarchy with brothers. And I love my brother to death, but for a little while, he definitely irritated me. There was a moment when I was growing up where I could see my parents look at my younger brother, and you could almost feel them go, we'll right our wrongs with this one. And I was like, oh no, that will not do. Right? And I used to tell my brother things when he was old enough. I would go, hey, Philip, you're new here. And it's important that you know that I'm the chosen one. And you're the result of Dad getting in a hurry once. My brother was portly, And for some reason, his primary objective in life was to dethrone me. I have no idea why this is. You see it in nature too. It's like I was the oldest, and he was like, I take you out, I'm gonna feel what that crown's like. And my brother would attack me with he would just go, now. That would be the only warning I get. And then he would grab me and try to wrestle me. The weird thing is my brother always had the same maneuver. He'd just hug me and then go. And I would go, what are we doing? It's like a hula hoop of a chubby little brother. And then I loved putting him in a headlock. That was my favorite because his head was too big for his body. So he just got stuck. And I've never been a real cowboy, but the closest I've ever gotten to dropping a calf was putting him to the ground. Now, if you don't have brothers and sisters, the rest of the story is going to sound mean, and I'm sorry you weren't annoying enough to get your parents to make you a friend. My favorite maneuver, my brother would grab me, I'd headlock him, and I used to have this hip thrust, and I'd swing him, and I'd use his hindquarters to smash things around my parents' house. And then when it broke, my parents would go, who broke that? And I go, I never touched it. Who touched that, Philip? So now you know the dynamic of my brother and I. We shared a bedroom, and for 3 years, my most favorite thing in the world, we had a Nerf basketball rim on the back of our door. And my favorite thing in the world was to stuff him as hard as humanly possible in the face with that orange ball, because it wouldn't hurt, but it would make one of my favorite sounds in the world, and that was this. If you drilled him real good right in the nose, he'd go. And then I'd pop him in his sternum, and he'd go. That is the sound of some of my favorite summers as a kid. And he had asthma. You got him real good, you get one of these. Sounds mean, calm down. I'm not trying to kill the fucking kid. I kept his inhaler in my pocket. I'd pump him back up. And I go, you ready to go? And he go, I ain't no bitch. So that was it, right? So this one particular summer we were playing, and I went to tomahawk jamming pretty hard, and I stuffed him, and I knew I got the right on the bullseye because I heard him go, and I was like, nailed it. And I went to sternum check him. And when I went to do that, I'd landed sideways on my foot. So all of my body weight went into my brother's chest. All of it. Now, everybody in this room can think of a sound in your life where you go, oh yeah, that's an emergency. And mine was this. Oh! And I was like, oh fuck, that's all the air. There's no more air. There's no more air left. That's not gonna work. I need a bite pump. God, this kid's fucked. That is what went through my head. And then immediately I heard a destructive sound that I was not used to. And as I turned, I couldn't help but laugh because my brother, he just disappeared. He was just gone. Right through the drywall. He was just gone. Just fucking David Blaine, here he's gone, now he's gone. Here, gone, nope. The only thing left were his chubby little legs kicking. He was like a turtle. You know when you pick a turtle up, it's like, hey man, let me down, I got things to do. He's fighting it. I can also tell he's having an attack because he's in the wall just going, ha, ha, ha. And I was like, oh, fuck. But I'm laughing. I'm hitting his inhaler. I don't even have asthma, but I'm laughing so hard that I'm trying to, you know what I mean? It's airplane rules. Save yourself or everyone's going down. So I'm pumping myself up. It's getting good to me. And then I'm trying to get him up out of the wall. And as I pull him up out of the wall, I mean, it is wrecked. And now my brother's doing this thing where he's going, and it's making no sense. Right? And as an older brother, this sounds really mean. Your job is to piss him off to where he can think straight. So he's just now going, and I'm going, and he goes, and I was like, not any better. And he's like, you're a fucking dick. And I was like, now we can talk. And there's this giant hole. And he just goes, Dad's. And I was like, Dad's not here. What are we talking about? And he goes, he's going to fucking kill us. And I was like, what? And he goes, Dad's going to fucking kill us. And I was like, well, he's going to kill you. I didn't go through the wall, dude. Right? You never let go of the game. And he goes, seriously, we got to do something. He's going to kill us. And I was like, you keep saying us. Right? So I want you to know this. 2 things before I get ready to close this out. One, my brother's not freaking out for no reason, right? 45 minutes before we were sent to our room, we'd broken a lamp that my grandmother had given my parents. We were watching Goonies, and my brother went, now, and I went, what? He grabbed me, and I flipped him too hard, lamp shattered. As soon as it happened, my mom went, that's it, I'm done. When your dad gets home, he's dealing with you. Right out of the pocket, I went, that's cool, I ain't afraid of that man. I am. I am to this day. But I would say things like that if it was early and maybe I thought she'd be in bed or forget. So that's happened. Now we're in our room and there is a big fucking cave entrance on the side of our wall. And my brother, at this time in his life, loved 2 things, and that was Jean-Claude Van Damme and Steven Seagal, more than anything. Like, one of my favorite memories of my portly little brother is him in red basketball shorts, a purple tank top, and a mullet pulled into a ponytail, because I quote, I'm badass. But he had this giant Subway poster it was a movie called Double Impact. It was 2, do you remember that? It was 2, like, somewhat homoerotic Jean-Claude Van Damme's like, we fucking work out. And so he had this giant Subway poster, and I told my brother, I was like, I can fix this hole. And he goes, you can't fix this hole. Look at how big it is. And I was like, well, yeah, you got big ol' ass. And I took the poster out, and I put it on the wall, and I was like, check that out. And he goes, check what out? And I was like, it's fixed. He goes, it's not fixed. I was like, it is fixed. And I was like, can you see the hole? And he goes, no. And I was like, then it's fixed. He goes, nobody puts a poster that close to the floor. And I was like, well, tell Dad I did it. He goes, oh, that'll work. He thinks you're retarded. So we're not that far into the week, but my father's been coming home later and later every day, which means he's a little drunker. He was a contractor, works behind, people weren't showing up. That's what's happening, right? So now we're in bed. There's the hole in the wall. And we hear my dad's truck drive up. And then I can hear him wrestling with the door, not figuring out, like he can't get the key into the front door. And I'm going, how did this guy find the ignition? So my mom then opens the door and you can almost hear him fall in. He goes, trying to move ground? And I was like, oh, he's not making words. This is going to be awesome. My mom goes, how was your day? And he goes, well, fucking Jeff. Yours? He says, well, your boys broke that lamp your mother gave us. Your oldest son informed us today that he's not afraid of you, and he runs this goddamn house. I don't think I said that last part. You churched it up a bit much, right? You took it from a misdemeanor to murder, and I think I'll see you in court. My father responds by this, well, waking him up then. And he starts pinballing down the hallway closer to us. Now, you know 3 of the sounds my brother would make, right? Which was, There's a 4th sound you need to be aware of, and that's the sound of fear. And that was this. So as my dad gets closer to our bedroom, I could hear from across the side, I can hear my brother just going, and I'm going, don't make a sound. Like, my dad's not a bad man. He just wants to come in, babble some shit that doesn't make sense. None of it. The only thing it means is, why is life hard? When's it going to work out for me? But he can't. He can't articulate that. He doesn't even want to deal with us. He's probably just now realizing that he committed to it. My favorite part of this entire story is I could hear my dad outside of our bedroom door pumping himself up. Like, he's literally just going, well, just fucking says you do it. Well, I mean, they're half yours. All right, Jay. Go time. That's my he said go time. Go time is what a Navy SEAL says when they drop into a special ops mission. Not a drunk father about to deal with 2 shit kids. Go time. He kicked that door open, flipped the light on, and I swear just went, wow. Wow. And nope. 2, 1, nothing. Wow. And I'm a respect. Wow. And I got Booch and Jeff, and it's
On a Wednesday, boys. On a Wednesday? You know what, boys? Just fuck me.
And he got too animated. And he went to fall. And when he fell, he went to catch himself. And this is the exact moment that the funniest thing I thought I was going to see that day fell second to the funniest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. It's also the same moment the double impact became triple impact. My brother in that wall was funny. My drunk father just disappearing into the abyss was the funniest thing that this world has ever known. Because he went, fuck me, what? And then fell, and it went, rip, tear, what, how, lights, come on. And my brother's going, woo, 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 woo. I was like, Jesus, someone's gonna have to do something. And as my dad's pulling himself up out of the wall, I jumped up and went, Dad, he went, what? I was like, what did you do to the wall? And he went, wow. Don't tell your mother. You guys have been a lot of fun. Thank you so much, everybody.
AJ Finney, ladies and gentlemen, come on. Yes.